Hello everyone and welcome to Nova's First Reacts, the show where I react first to all the things you want to see reacted to first if you come to me first to react to things. Today, Rage of the Abyss has new cards to show us. A new archetype called Primal ORE is rearing its ugly head. And I do mean ugly, not the artwork, of course. It looks phenomenal, but these are gigantic monstrosities that look like they're going to cause cataclysms on an untold scale. And I can't wait to see what they actually do. I don't have any other preamble. Sometimes I like leading in with some kind of information, but these are wholly new to me, so we have no excuse to pad the runtime. It's time to jump right in here. First up is Primal ORE Imperial Dragon, a level 6 Earth Dragon monster, 2600 attack, 0 defense. Must be normal summoned by tributing a normal monster. But special summoning it you can do just fine, but you can only tribute normal monsters. Tribute normal monsters to tribute summons. You can only use the first effect of this card once per turn. During your opponent's main phase, as a quick effect, you can reveal this card. Immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon a Primal ORE monster. If this card is tribute summoned, you can activate this effect. Apply each of the following effects in sequence. First, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent controls, then banish all monsters your opponent controls that either have the same type or attribute as a normal monster in your graveyard. Ooh. Okay, this is already showing some premium crossover with Magic-y. That's another deck that wants you to have particular attributes of monsters in rotation, and they love using normal monsters for all their stuff, so this really lines up with them. They're already playing the normal monsters that you contribute for, so that's... I like this. Also, it doesn't say normal summon a different Primal ORE monster, so you can normal summon this during your opponent's main phase, and then just nuke your opponent's board, and then negate anything that's left over. Or technically it happens in reverse, but you know what I mean. That's already looking pretty savage. Primal ORE Vein, continuous spell card. You can only use the first and third effect of this card once per turn. 1. When this card's activation resolves, you can add a Primal ORE card from your deck to your hand except a copy of this self. Hello, Imperial Dragon. Your normal and Primal ORE monsters gain 300 attack for each normal monster in your graveyard. You can declare the name of a normal monster. Special summon the declared monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Then for the rest of the turn, you cannot activate the effects of special summoned monsters on the field. Okay, so that keeps you from just playing, like, the iconic monsters, Dark Magician, Blue Eyes White Dragon, and then comboing off there, which is kind of a shame, because if any deck needed a way to summon their monsters for free, it's the iconic decks, but it would also get busted to high heaven, so I guess it's good that we have that. Pretty neat. It might as well just say special summon a normal monster from any of those places. The name... Why does it have the name thing, though, is the question. I mean, you'll know what your deck list is going in. That just feels like a needless complexity to it. Anyway, it's cool. So it searches you on activation, makes your monster stronger, and it lets you get a normal monster into rotation. Seems like it gets you the Imperial Dragon and the fodder you need to tribute summon over it immediately. Pretty good. I think that's not terrible. Primal ORE Rumble, quick play spell card. It's got a Widow Baby ORE Dragon. This looks familiar to something, but I couldn't place it. Quick play spell card, pay 2,000 life points, then declare a name of a normal monster. Until the end of your opponent's turn, your Primal ORE monsters and your monsters with a declared name cannot be destroyed by battle. Then if you control no monsters, you can special summon a monster with the declared name from your deck in defense position. If your opponent normal summons a monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a normal monster on your field and in your graveyard. Or in your graveyard. On field or in graveyard. Banish a monster on the field with lower attack. Oh, okay, so you were incentivized to summon out the biggest normal monster you can get your hands on. So, the Blue Eyes White Dragon. And then check against that one. So, they normal... You banish from graveyard, target a Blue Eyes, as long as any monster on the field has lower than 3,000 attack, the card is going away. It doesn't even target 2. That's gross. Primal ORE Piercing Light, quick play spell card. You can Only use each of the 1 and 2 effects of this card once per turn. You can reveal a Primal ORE card or a normal monster in your hand, then target a face-up card on the field and negate its effects, and if you do, banish it. If you control non-token normal monsters or level 5 or higher Primal ORE monsters, you do not need to reveal a card on activation. Okay. So just any normal monster, or if you have the big one. This implies that we will have lower leveled Primal ORE monsters, but we're not going to be seeing any of them because we only have these 5 right now, and I think we're a bit off from the release of Rage of the Abyss, so we're not going to get a full picture of these right now. But it does imply we will have smaller ones. It's kind of cool that it has that, though. It negates and then banishes. It doesn't get past targeting because you have to target first. But if it has some other form of... If it says like it can't be banished, then you negate that and then you banish it afterwards. So that's pretty good. And it's a quick play, so you can do it at any point. And you can either reveal from hand to activate it, or if you meet the requirements, you can just play it. During your main phase, if you control a Primal ORE monster, you can set this card from your graveyard. It does not banish itself when it does this, so every turn you can just set Piercing Light. There is a period of time where you can't activate it because it is a quick play, but because it is a quick play, you can just play it on your opponent's turn and get rid of a face-up card. Oh, wow. Wait, okay, so it's not just removal. It negates the effect of a face-up card, so you can hit opponent's Lightning Storms, you can hit like the normal spells and normal trap cards that otherwise are a lot more difficult to interact with outside of just activation negation. Oh my god. Okay, and lastly is Primal ORE Roar. Love the name. Normal trap card, declare the name of a normal monster. This turn, if you would take battle damage from battles involving your Primal ORE monsters or your monsters with a declared name, reduce the damage to 0. Then if you control no monsters, you can special summon a monster with a declared name from your deck or graveyard. During your opponent's turn, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a normal monster on your field or in your graveyard. Gain control of one monster with higher attack that your opponent controls until the end phase. Okay, so Roar incentivizes you to play a normal monster with as little attack as possible, because then that will, like, if you have a 0 attack one, it'll check anything with 50 attack or higher. So hey, congratulations, you have a card that can grab low. On the field, it's more defensive. Unless, of course, you transaction rollback this, because it's a normal trap card, so you could play this on turn 1 so that you can get the normal monster that you named. I suppose, now that I think about it, I think the reason why it has you name the normal monster is that it doesn't require you to play that normal monster. Like, if you wanted to have an all-effect version, I mean, I assume you wouldn't, right? You could play, like, it doesn't say you can't tribute non-token normal monsters for the Imperial Dragons, so you could play a deck that generates tokens and then tribute over that. Because I don't think anything else in this deck prohibits you from playing effect monsters. You just need to have a normal monster to get this tribute summoned. But if you wanted to play the normal monsters, it lets you play these cards, Rumble and or Roar, without actually needing to have it. Like, you could name a normal monster that you don't have, and then special summon it, the declared name, if you want to. But maybe that's like a ruling thing, like you can't name something that's not a valid target. I don't know. That aside, though, that design decision aside, these cards are immediately outrageous. Like, just these 5 cards. ORE Vein adds any Primal ORE card, so any of the other 4 ones, they're yours. This is a dragon by itself, one of the most supported types in the game. You can, like, banish Redox, which is legal. If you have a way of banishing Redox, we can search that with that. This effect is wild. We can do it during our opponent's turn. Main phase specifically, but there's a lot of setup that goes on in the main phase that you can just shut down with this. Even if you don't play normal monsters in this deck, this effect doesn't work, but you sure as heck get the negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent controls. It doesn't stop at the end phase, mind you, so that's goofy. Do that at any time as long as you have a token or a normal monster to tribute. or Vayne makes your monsters big. Imperial Dragon is already at 2,600, so that's getting bonkers big easily. You get to summon free normal monsters out of nowhere, and there's like a dozen decks that are okay with that. Granted, I do remember now that this is the one issue with the deck. The most accessible way to summon a normal monster does lock you out from activating the effects of special summoned monsters on the field. I don't know if there's any weird monsters that have a negative drawback that you can play around with this. Obviously, there's like Acid Golem. No, Acid Golem's a continuous effect, so... Are there any ones that have a trigger effect on some that are detrimental? I'm sure there are. You'll be able to let me know down below. I know all of you are very smart and knowledgeable. Primal or Rumble is... Destroy battle. Keeps all your Primal Ores and the declared monster safe, so you pay 2,000, which is hefty, but you have a blocker that can't be destroyed by battle. You have Piercing Light by itself just feels incredible. Every turn you just get access to this, a negate that with banishing removal attached to it. That's outrageous. It's a good card going first and second, as long as you can pay the cost or do the thing that bypasses the cost. And Primal or Roar is just it's not going to be part of your explosive turn one plays, but it's a great way to help keep you safe from, especially if like you use Rumble but your opponent has piercing damage. If you combine it with Roar, then you stop taking that battle damage, and then you just get another monster. If you have no monsters, the thing about that is that you only get to summon a monster for free if your monster board is empty. And then what? Roar is Snatch Steal during our opponent's turn, so that we can stop them from doing stuff or take advantage of their quick effects. Rumble is more removal if we have a big enough normal monster. This is a promising start. Even if we don't get a big, good core of Primal Ore cards after this, like I said, Magic Key are going to go gaga over this. I already can hear Red Mage's gears spinning so fast that steam is coming out of their ears. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what monstrosities get played out of this one. Will it be an Earth... I assume that it's going to be an Earth Dragon deck because it's focused on Ore, which is from the ground. But if Adamanticators have taught us anything, winds can also be rocks, because, you can throw a rock. That's in the wind, right? Let me know what your thoughts are on down below. I'm curious to see if I am overhyping this or if the hype itself is real. The power of the Monarch has been reincarnated into a suite of cards that will actually use it effectively without bricking super much. Is it too good to be true? I don't know. I'm just the first react guy. I don't have time to think about it in depth. That's for you to do. So let me know what you think, and as always, I will see you next time when Rage of the Abyss or any other ancillary product drops a thing for me to be way more hyped than I should be about it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Today's episode is brought to you by my lovely patrons, as well as the lovely people over at Dragon Shield. Get the sleeves as strong as dragon scales and save 5% on your order by using the coupon code GoldenNova at checkout. Today's episode is also brought to you by my lovely patrons, including this month's illustrious Quasar Commanders, Simic Toadstool and Upstairs Media, Nebula Navigators 3rd Dynasty, Ada Basilisk, Adam Zajdel, Owexitowa Yume, Anansi Dragon, Andrew Newman, Kane Senpai, Chibi Gohan, Christopher Fuss, Clockswork, Comrade Copperbottom, Emily Chan, Eric, Frankie, Garland Chaos, Green Knight, Gloomba 331, Great Big Pillock, Groog, Hairbear, Harry the Ominous Benefactor, Howling Zangetsu, Iron Zero, Iskander 711, Carp, Mana Charge, Marion James E. Picata, Mega Combi, Millennia Asta, Nathan Vig, Natiel Lee Alexander, Orozco 09096, Panther J, Rebel King Lucifer, Red Eyes Jackalow, RJ the Jank Monarch, Sammy Haim, Scott 48, Serenity Towns, Skybuster Leo, The Critic of Innocence, Thievery Coast and the Wizard Moose, Cosmic Crusaders, a random pup, Ariel Kersey, Baron von Titty Sprinkles, Beelzebub, Bernag, Blitzwolf, Borger with a Shotgun, Chaz Ghost, Childish Lamar, Dr. Reaper, R.I.P., Drachenwald, Eki Bullock, Eva Padilla, Hike Boyagian, Herbal D, Ignis, the True Draco Slayer, Jester Designs, Kale the Dragon, Kevon Public, Lemon Yu-Gi-Oh!, Lobomaru 02, Manga Pages, Matt Simmons, McSpoofy, Michael Shimabukuro, Nitromo, Nyx, Obsidian, Shizuka Nijimura, Sophie, apparently, Stephen Williamson, Taylor Seymour, Terror Top to 3, The Legendary Raven, The Pokemon 52, Tiger X2476, Visor KG, Zaldreka and Zalus, as well as the wonderful Starlight Explorers you see on screen now. If you'd like to help me in my journey to cover all of Yu-Gi-Oh's archetypes, get my videos early, and be a part of these credits, along with other awesome perks, it would mean the world to me if you would check out the link to my Patreon in the description, or consider joining as a YouTube member.